Pretty simple.
Good.
But nobody in Wall Street, a banking or a corporate America or a government wants to tell you that truth because they want to lie to you. It's called propaganda, misdirection.
One of the reasons is because they want to keep enforcing that we're in a recession, and you said, no, we're not in a recession. We've been in a depression for the last year. This is classic depression. These are numbers going back to the 1930s, the depression numbers. These are clearly depression numbers, aren't they?
They certainly are. And you might call them borderline depression. But, you know, we really don't know what the actual figure is because it may be a lot worse. So we'll be conservative and stick with the figures what we have. We get the same thing with the CPI, which is the inflation figures. They're owning up now to about 3%. Well, real inflation is somewhere between 7 and 8.25%. And why? Because they lie about the numbers. They lie about everything. Lying.
7 and 8 to 8.25% is the real inflation. One of the reasons they don't want that out is because they would have to adjust Social Security and other things. Now, one of the other things that you talk about is the President Czar and move to confiscate guns within 3 years, remove anyone who disagrees with government, and ban Internet and talk radio, which the only thing I can say about that is we've got to be getting to them. If they want to ban Internet and talk radio, then obviously we're getting to the American people. Even though we're not as big as the major networks or anything else, people gravitate to truth.
But Gilliam, my ratings are as high, if not higher, than all of the mainline talk show hosts. And I don't even have a show. I mean, I've been beating the likes of Hannity and Limbaugh and Beck and Savage and the whole bunch of them.
You have been, and all you have to do is...
And, you know, and even Fox called me about a month ago. I couldn't go on because I was going to go on your show, and I don't give up my commitments just because Fox happens to call.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my friend.
There has to be some loyalty left in our country.
Absolutely. It all isn't based on greed. You have to have loyalty left to the people. You go to the dance with the one who brung you. That's what I've always thought. And you've got to have loyalty, and I appreciate that more than you know. But the number of people who are listening to Robert Chapman on his Robert Chapman channel on YouTube and on ErskineOnRadio.com is astonishing. People, this is the only place where you're going to get that. Now, to get a copy of the International Forecaster, what is that number again, Bob, that they can call?
They can call 877-479-8178. That's toll-free, 877-479-8178, and get a current, free, introductory copy either by email or in hard copy. And our address on the net is theinternationalforecaster.com, theinternational, FORECASTER.com.
Don't forget to use the word "the." Now, that number again, 877. That's the toll-free number, 877-479-8178. And once you get a copy of the International Forecaster, you're going to want to subscribe. It will make you money. It's made me money. Not only making you money, but it's a wake-up call for the entire country. That's one of the reasons that there are certain parties in this country who don't care much for Mr. Chapman because you are providing a wake-up call like nobody else. Now, when you're looking around the world, it is international, and we very seldom talk about the international aspects of it. But you've got Greece, you've got Portugal, we all know about Iceland. The European Union has some very, very weak spots in it, and Spain, some very weak countries sitting in the European Union, aren't there?
The European Union has got problems.
Let's talk about that when we get back. The European Union, based on the International Forecaster. It's not just here anymore. It's all over the world. And the UK, they should be downgraded, all of their money. It's called the International Forecaster. And when I say international, he talks about what's going on all over the world. Europe, England, Canada, Latin America, China, all these countries. He talks about what's going on everywhere in the world. And from what I'm gathering, Mr. Chapman, we're the last best hope for the world against the New World Order.
That's for sure. Although I think we'll get some help from Europe, and the rest of the world generally doesn't care, although there are individuals that do. But Europe put together the European Unions. First it was the European Common Market and EFTA, and then it was melded into the European Union. And then within that union of some 27 or 28 countries is the Eurozone with the European Central Bank, which encompasses only 16 of those countries. And what's happened is that some of the countries have run into problems. Greece, Ireland, Spain, Portugal, and Italy. And they're all kind of on the edge of bankruptcy. And, there's two waves of thought on this. If they fall away and go back to their original currencies and they're not in the Eurozone anymore, that would be good for the stronger countries that would keep the euro and still be there. On the other hand, there are those that say, well, if it breaks up, will the euro last? And that's a good question, too. We don't know. I think ultimately the Eurozone will break up, but it'll take 3 or 4 years for that to happen. And the euro has already dropped from 150 to approximately 140 to a dollar. And that's a large drop and inside of a couple of, well, I guess probably 3 weeks. And I think, you can't let your eye get off the ball. And what I mean by that is looking at the USDX is fine, and it shows you how the dollar is faring against 6 major currencies that are weighted against the dollar. But the most important thing for the last 7 years has been looking, in fact, the last 10 years, has been looking at the value of currencies versus gold. I took 13 major currencies, and it's in the issue that you have there, or the one before.
Right.
And it shows that they're down somewhere between 400 and 200% round figures. I mean, that's disastrous.
Not if you own gold.
Not if you own gold. So that's why you want to own gold. You don't want to own those currencies.
Absolutely. Owning gold is your only choice today, and it's down today, so today is a really good time to purchase gold. We won't see it this low. I don't think we're going to see it this low for the rest of this year. 877-479-8178. I think now is an excellent time to buy gold. People are saying it's over $1,000 an ounce. That's going to look like a bargain, won't it?
Well, I think so. If you just take inflation since 1980, gold officially should be $2,400 an ounce. So what's it doing at $1,100? It's there because our government has suppressed the price, and that's not going to go on forever. And if you take real inflation, you're looking at $6,700 an ounce to $7,150 an ounce. So It doesn't matter who's right. This thing is going up more than 100% from where it's at.
So we're looking at $3,000 to $4,000 potential gold.
Easy. And they're not going to be able to stop it. Central banks are buyers, not sellers.
So once it starts going this time, they aren't going to be able to stop it. And I suspect it will break out before the year's over, don't you?